Good morning, 8th grade English class. How are you guys doing on this Monday morning? Well, we are going to learn a little bit more grammar today. Actually, today we're focusing on some punctuation, and we're going to be talking about hyphens. When I have looked at your book critiques over the year and over the past years, the many that I've looked at, one of the things that a lot of kids mess up on are hyphens and how to use hyphens the right way. Now, there are lots of rules about using hyphens. And today we're just going to cover a few of them. These are some of the easier ones. So hopefully you'll be able to catch on, and your assignment today will just go with these particular rules. But I will put a link onto Google Classroom that shows you a lot of the other ways that hyphens are used. And we'll probably go over maybe a few of those tomorrow because our book does not really cover very many rules with hyphens. So I just thought we might look at some that are pretty commonly experienced, some things that you might encounter in your writing. Okay, so the first rule is, and some of these you know because you've heard them before, but if you are writing and you're at the end of a line and you have your word and your word is too long, and so we know that we can hyphenate that word and continue it onto the next line. Now it's kind of hard to see what I did here because I'm having to start my sentence way over here, but there are a couple of rules to follow with this. You only hyphenate between syllables of a word. And if you have trouble with syllables, if you use a dictionary or use your phone, which has, you can Google a dictionary for your phone, it will show you where the syllables are. But remember the old thing that you used to do when you were little? I think you put your hand under your chin and you sounded out the word, and every time your jaw moved, that was a new syllable. That's kind of a rule of thumb. So you always use a hyphen between syllables. You never hyphenate a one-syllable word, and you never hyphenate after just one letter. So if that's the case, you just need to continue on. All right, so here's an example. The company estimated the cost of production to be $10,000. Okay, so here we put pro, hyphen, and then duction. But this is a three-syllable word, so you could also put product with a hyphen and then shun on the next line. So I know it's kind of squeezed in here, but that's just an example. Okay, so that's the first rule. The second rule is if you are writing out a number between 21 and 99, you use a hyphen. So an example would be 21, there's a hyphen here. 98, there's a hyphen. So those numbers, 21 to 99, you always put a hyphen there. Number 3. Fractions. Fractions are a little tricky, and I even looked up some different rules on this, and even I had a little bit of trouble seeing what's actually clear. But the general rule of thumb is if it's an adjective, if you're using it to describe a noun, you use a hyphen. A 2/3 majority is needed to override a presidential veto. Now look right here, we have our hyphen here for presidential veto, and then 2/3, because this describes the type of majority. So this is your adjective. Probably need a different color, don't I? This is your adjective. I would never do this at school because it messes up the board, and it modifies majority. Okay, but look at this sentence. This one does not have a hyphen because it's your subject. 2/3 is a noun in this sentence. 2/3 of the team was sick. So since it's a noun, it is considered, it does not have to have a hyphen. Okay, so that's just a general rule with that. I also read something about if it's introduced with an A or an an, there's no hyphen, but that was a little iffy because it was really like saying a third. So you wouldn't have anything to hyphen. Like if you said a third of the team was sick, you're still talking about a fraction, but you don't have like 1/3. If you say 1/3, you wouldn't hyphenate it as a noun, but as an adjective you would. So here, like we have a, but this is an adjective, so you still have to hyphenate that. I hope that's not confusing. Just ask me if you have trouble. And number 4, compound nouns. These to me are the most difficult because some of them you just have to know. And I would say that if you're writing a paper and you're not sure, just look it up. You can look it up. There's nothing wrong with that. I look things up all the time. So some words are always hyphenated, like babysitter, son-in-law, state of the art. And then sometimes you have these compound adjectives. It's like it could be a compound noun, but it's being used as an adjective. And sometimes it depends on how it's being used. So an off-campus apartment, you would say off-campus with a hyphen. But if you said the apartment is off-campus, you wouldn't have to have a hyphen with off-campus. So sometimes these are a little tricky. And if you're not sure about one, you would want to check it out. Hopefully today in your assignment, you'll be able to pick them out and decide if that's correct or if it's not. And sometimes it's because you've seen it before, maybe in your reading or the newspaper or things like that. Does anybody read a newspaper anymore? I don't know. I don't. I just do everything online. So maybe you're online reading. You've seen some hyphens. Anyway, so you're going to have an assignment with this today. If you have trouble, you know that you can message me on Google Classroom. I'll try to get back to you sometime today. I'll be at my computer till about 3:30 today. So anyway, have a great day, guys.